I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a movie.
Yeah, it's our thing.
It is our thing. So we're on Netflix. And the new Netflix movie this week, because did you hear the news, Sean? Netflix is releasing a different movie every week for 2021.
Oh, good.
They have a stacked slate for us.
All right, we need it.
This week, as in January 15th, 2021, the movie is Outside the Wire. Thank you, Sean. He did watch it, I swear.
I watched it, I did.
He was there. He carries his enthusiasm in someone else's body.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, does not experience any highs or lows himself.
No.
Just
passes them on.
Yeah, which you would think actually is the perfect way to review this movie about robots.
Very true. Or Gumps.
As we call you now. I'm going to call you Gump.
Call me Gump.
Gump.
It's not a great nickname for a robot.
Well, are the robots complaining?
They probably are, or will once they unionize.
Okay, so this is the stance you're taking. This is the one thing you care about is robot nicknames.
It's a starting point.
Okay, Gump, listen up.
Okay.
This movie, I mean, it's sci-fi meets war movie, right? So we've got a drone pilot. His name is Lieutenant Harp. You can call him Harp. Played by Damson Idris. Young guy out in basically a storage container out in the Nevada desert somewhere.
Yep.
And he's the guy watching a war unfold from, half a world away. On the other half of the world, and this war is taking place, number one, in the near future. It's supposed to be 2035 or something. Number two, around Russia?
Yeah, it's Ukraine-ish.
There's a problem
Eastern
over there.
Europe.
Yes.
There is a big conflict zone, and there is a literal wall. Wire, if you will, yes. And the U.S. is on one side, and this terrorists / rebels are on the other.
Well, not even so much. I think that the Americans are there as peacekeepers.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. So I think they've just drowned. I think they might be in a circle of wire.
Okay. Where
they are keeping the peace for themselves and bashing all the people back from both sides of the skirmish.
Okay.
Doesn't
seem like they really need to be there then.
Well, Sean, nobody asked anyone, and I think that's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Anyways, this is the skirmish that's happening. There are war robots. There are also human soldiers, but robot soldiers.
Right.
They're quite big, bulky, just metal guys. They kind of look Transformers to me.
Kind of, yeah.
Because they did, they move about and then they, kneel down and transform into a gun when, it's gun time.
Yep.
Which it often is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's basically this whole movie is a war.
It's a war.
Yeah.
So, we're dropped into this movie in the middle of an action sequence, really.
Yep.
Gumps. Gumps are the soldier robots. There are Gumps on both sides, on every side. Every country's got Gumps. Not a Gump, many Gumps, plus many human soldiers.
Yep.
There is firefight going on, really a whole hailstorm of bullets, because robots can fire a lot of bullets.
They shoot quick, yes.
They transform into enormous guns. And we know on the Americans, they've got 2 casualties, 2 men down. The leader of the troop.
Well, yeah, they're not casualties yet.
No, okay.
They're wounded, and the Marine platoon leader wants to go rescue them.
Right. And so remember Harp back in Nevada, who's been watching all of this. This is his terrain that he's been stalking for probably months. Sitting there eating his candy, watching this unfold on screen, and he decides he doesn't really like what's happening. His own commander is telling him to stand down, but he decides, you know what, I'm just gonna send in a missile just take care of this mess, nip it in the bud. It literally nips the 2 guys in the bud.
That's right.
So they're dead now.
Yep.
Saves the other 38, but everybody gets real pissy about the 2 that died.
Yeah, that's pretty unrealistic, if you ask me.
Well, nobody did ask you, Gump.
They're justifiably mad that he didn't follow orders, but
Right.
this is a weird situation. Anyway,
Sure. Long story short, he gets court-martialed, and instead of jail, his punishment is he has to go to the war.
Right, they're going to teach him a lesson
Yes.
about the value of human lives.
Sure.
By sending him to a war zone.
Listen, does the American government have a sense of irony? No.
Yeah, I mean, I think this part of it could actually happen. This might be what they decide to do. Is now you're just cannon fodder.
Now you're
with
also
else.
somebody else's problem, though.
Yeah, true.
They hate non-rule followers. So
they really do. I mean, that is the worst thing you can do in the army.
We're really talking over each other today.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, Gump. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
we're both doing it. It's not a you thing. We're just being weird today.
Yeah.
Or particularly weird.
I guess.
Weird in this
in a
one
different
specific way.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he goes overseas to, he's behind the wire.
Yeah.
He's inside the wire.
Keeping the peace.
Sure, with all the guns.
Yeah.
He meets Captain Leo, played by Anthony Mackie. And Captain Leo apparently handpicked this guy. So, right away I'm thinking, this doesn't sound right. Either this is a punishment that he got court-martialed over, or he was handpicked.
Yeah. Can't be both.
Well, or is it neither? Anyways, their first encounter, this Harp guy just doesn't show a lot of respect for anyone.
No, but he does say, with all due respect.
He says that a lot.
So that's how you know. Jay showed this to me.
Yes.
That's how you know he doesn't have any respect.
That is how you know, because it's the same thing as when you say no judgment. That's how you know you're super judging me. And when you say with all due respect, what you really mean is, okay, the shorthand, I know what it means.
All right, yes, clearly you do.
Anyways, we haven't even gotten to the headline of the movie, which is that Anthony Mackie is a super soldier, like cyborg Terminator guy.
Yeah, he's a robot.
He is a very advanced weaponry AI thing.
He doesn't like when you call him a robot.
Which is, just shows you how advanced he is, because I call you a robot all the time and you don't mind, because you have such a simple processing unit and no human feelings.
That's true. And Anthony Mackie
has a lot of
have feelings.
Yeah, they have made him specifically to have feelings, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, it's a little weird for a war robot.
It is, because he can feel pain.
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that? My gosh, they're trying to breed pain out of us, but they're putting it into him?
Yeah.
Anyway, so clearly he's like 2.0 of the Gumps.
Oh, yeah.
Because he looks like a human. They want you to be able to mistake him as a human.
Yeah, the Gumps don't look like humans.
No. They're just hunks of metal.
Like Chappie, really.
Is that an acceptable nickname for a robot, Chappie?
Hey, it's better than Gump.
Why don't you ask Chappie that? I don't like Chappie.
I know you don't.
Well, I mean the name.
Oh, okay.
It's like calling somebody's son.
Is it?
I think.
Chappie? Like chap?
Yeah, but like even diminutive.
All right.
Chappie.
I just thought it was a fun nickname.
Well, shows what you know, Gump. Anyways, stop interrupting me, robot. Your program has gone haywire tonight. So yes, he is an android. He is a robot, but he looks like a human, but he thinks like a robot. And not even like a robot. I shouldn't even say like a robot, because it's AI. This is powerful artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I kind of loved it. I really was nerding out on this bit because I love Asimov.
Yep.
the best sci-fi guy out there, wrote those juicy laws of robotics.
Absolutely.
And everything I've learned from everything that he's ever been affiliated with in his entire life.
Or copied from him, which is most robot sci-fi.
Well, of course, because how can you not go here? And the here is, AI will always evolve to the point where they realize that humans are so stupid and dangerous to themselves that they have to be protected against themselves.
Yeah.
So AI has to stop listening to us in order to save us.
Yeah, that is the inevitable
That's the
outcome.
end game.
Yeah.
That is AI end game.
You're always going to get there.
Yes. And Leo is already there.
Yeah. Well, he started there.
Sure. He's super smart.
Yeah.
So really he's involved, this Harp guy, to be the human fall guy, to be the workaround, because Leo does have some fail-safes, some programming in his software that's supposed to make him obey, I mean, that's what being a super soldier is.
Yeah.
Number one, obey. Number two, okay, do all sorts of wonderful combat and stuff.
That's right.
But number one, obey.
Yeah, but they gave Leo the ability to think independently.
To think around that, yes.
So he's solving problems.
Oh, he's finding the loopholes.
Oh, he is.
Oh, boy.
Yes, he is.
Oh, boy.
And Harp is
He can think outside the wire.
Yeah, Harp is one loophole after the other.
Well, he's always 2 steps behind Leo, that's for sure.
Really is.
You know what? He never sees it coming.
No.
So Leo just, takes him outside the wire. They're going on this, unsanctioned journey. Because Leo has realized that this guy, Victor Koval, this is like the ultimate bad guy in the movie. I mean, not really the ultimate bad guy, but he has deduced that this particular warlord wants to get his hands on,
the Russian
neglected
nuclear
nukes.
codes.
Yes.
Because these are all the nukes that were in Ukraine that are still there, that could be active and used to send over to the US.
Mm-hmm. So, why he really wants to do that, I'm not super sure what his rationale is, but it doesn't matter. He's a bad guy, and Leo's gonna stop him. Except Leo's taken some real shifty ways, some shady ways around to this.
Yes, he is.
And as you will come to find out if you watch this movie, and everyone's going to be watching this movie this weekend because it's a brand new action movie, not quite the blockbuster maybe everyone is thirsting for, but it's close enough. If you close your eyes and squint, maybe you can dream of something a little more.
I think you can work with it.
You can work with it. All right. So ultimately, this Leo guy, keep your eye on him, because he is thinking and processing at a level that none of the humans around him can keep up with. And I think that's kind of the interesting thing about this, that of course they don't touch on nearly enough in my opinion, but just how the danger, if you are the American government, of developing this guy, is that this guy, like a robot, has no sense of patriotism. He has no sense of blindly following, because my country. He is able to process and think from everyone's perspective. And so he doesn't just see that it's my side versus your side. He sees all the sides. And so, I think what he comes to really realize is that maybe the American government is the enemy.
His creators. Yeah.
Oh, which exactly, that's it. Asimov up the wazoo there.
Yep, it is.
So I really liked that about it. I would say for me, everything else was kind of a pale second. I didn't think it was a super great movie. I didn't think that the plot always made sense. And part of that is built into this premise of Leo's kind of gone, not AWOL, but, maybe a little bit AWOL, but he's rogue. He's gone rogue, I guess is the word I'm trying to think of. Yep. He is not operating the way he should.
No,
and,
he's not, he is off on a totally different mission than what anyone thinks.
Yes, that's right. And it's always evolving, because he's always learning and adapting, and no one can keep up.
No, they're not even really trying.
Well, no, there is no use in trying. So it's also tough for us to keep up.
Yeah.
And so I think they're just kind of throwing stuff at us. And, it's Netflix, so nobody's ever just sitting in front of Netflix, right? We're like a multiple screen society. And I think Netflix sometimes counts on that. On us not paying fully attention. We're not in the theater.
Like, oh, this thing must have made sense.
Yes, a lot of times because I'm trying to write a cohesive review, I'll make Sean rewind to find out what we missed, only to find that we did not miss anything.
It just didn't really, it just jumped from one thing to something completely different.
That's right. So how did you feel about Outside the Wire?
I didn't mind it.
Okay.
I thought, it does have the interesting thing of the robot, the sentient AI that is, not on anyone's side, except, its own end, whatever it decides is the greater good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also like a decent action movie. I felt like the shoot 'em up scenes, and there's a lot, are pretty good.
There is a lot.
So they're well set up, where you can kind of follow, the camera's jumping around, but they did a good enough job of this is this side and this is that side, and you can follow it. And there are a ton of bullets that are going everywhere, and things are blowing up left and right. So as far as just an action movie, it's got that going for it.
Yes. I like the kind of meta thing of casting Anthony Mackie, who we have seen in war movies and we have seen in superhero movies, and in this one he kind of gets to be both.
Yeah.
Both this, the enhanced, not human, but enhanced whatever, soldier, and this military guy. So it's really just kind of Anthony Mackie on steroids here, where he really just gets to be that guy.
He does get to be that guy, absolutely. And he's good at that guy.
Yes, he is. He is very good at this.
He's watchable.
But
and
I thought
the two
this
of them
new
are
guy,
watchable.
I thought they were really good together. It was good casting. I thought that it was also, it struck me, I feel like a lot of these themes didn't really come together for me until the second half of the movie. And I can't say that it was slow, because we start off in action and it rarely lets up. But it didn't start to gel for me until the second half, where I really pulled a lot of the themes.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of the movie trying to keep us guessing. I felt like they weren't giving us as much information as maybe they should have, because they want us to kind of be in Harp's shoes and not know what's going on.
Okay.
But I think they could have fed us more, and maybe that would have helped.
Okay. Well, I also think that is part of sort of Netflix's formula, where they know they're competing against all these other screens and against all these other titles, even on the streaming service, and against other streaming services. So a Netflix movie knows that it needs to grab your attention from the get-go. And so I find a lot of them do like this movie does, by just dropping you in on action, and so there's less story. Whereas in other things, sometimes we get seduced by the story. We get to learn about characters, and I find Netflix doesn't do that a lot of the time. Especially these low to medium budget ones.
Yeah.
They gave Roma. Roma started off with a soap bucket for 15 minutes or something.
What a great scene.
So sometimes they'll allow it, but they hired an auteur director. That's what you're gonna get. Yeah. This kind of movie, they were like, no, we need to impress these people. We want them to look away from their phones for a second. We want them to press continue watching. That's what Netflix is trying to do, right? They know what they're competing against. They treat us like children because we have lost a lot of our attention and focus for these things. Certainly when you're in a theater, that's all you have. But when you're at home, there are a million things competing for your attention. And Netflix, they're going to just barrage you with a robot bullet if that's what it takes. And this movie is exactly that. But I have to say, I really kind of thought it was funny that it took a robot to be able to teach us to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, to look from somebody else's perspective. And I just thought, at this moment in time, knowing what has happened in our backdoor neighbors, the Americans, how divisive things are right now. That it's an American robot that's gonna teach us all how to love one another and to consider other people's point of view.
That's a good point. Where is this robot, America?
Where is
this robot?
Anthony Mackie. He is the only one who can help us now. It's true. You know?
Yep.
And first of all, why give him a six-pack if he's also see-through?
He's only see-through sometimes.
That bothered me. Anyways, apart from that, 2 thumbs up. No. So you thought this was decent?
It's a decent movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the best movie, but it works. I think you highlighted, like, it's got some missed opportunities where they just went full action / formula, and it could have been more than that, because there is like a meaty concept that could have been delved into, and they really don't go below the surface.
Right.
They don't go any further than, you know, like Terminator, where just like, or Matrix, where it's just like, yep, this is the thing, AI is gonna eventually kill everyone and enslave them.
Well, I don't know if you read my review, the one I write. I did call it Training Day meets Terminator.
Oh yeah.
If like Denzel was the Terminator in Training Day,
Yeah.
that's this movie basically.
Good point. Yep.
Good point. What an excellent, totally sensical thing you just said, Jay.
Yeah, totally. Good work, Jay.
Oh, oof. Yeah. So, like, I thought it was decent too. I think the performances probably helped it, elevate it a little bit for me.
Yep.
And, you know, I like the sci-fi elements, and considering, that AI. Don't trust the AI, guys. Let's stop inventing it. It's always going to be our doom.
Yep.
I mean, we are our doom. I know, I do understand that.
Yeah.
But AI will just hasten it for us.
Yeah.
Because we cannot be trusted.
No, we can't. The robots
So
will
we
take
need to
over.
stop inventing things that know that.
Yeah.
That's on us.
Yeah, it is. Let's not clone dinosaurs, and let's not make AI.
Deal. Okay, Netflix, you want to first look at this? So, it's Outside the Wire. It stars Anthony Mackie. It's on Netflix. You can catch it Friday, January 15th. Director Mikael Håfström. It's gonna fulfill those needs we have. The need for speed. It's hard to get that in other places. You know, this lockdown, interminable lockdown. We haven't seen all these big blockbustery kinds of movies.
No, we haven't.
So,
those are the ones that have gotten delayed.
yeah, they keep hoping to get those back in theaters. But Netflix is giving to you this one for free this Friday the 15th. Enjoy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.